You're sitting with people who genuinely like you. They laugh at your jokes, they include you, they respond warmly, and yet something feels strangely empty. You go home after the conversation and feel more alone than before it, not because they rejected you, but because somehow they never really saw you. And the unsettling part is this: you're not even sure they could. This kind of loneliness is quiet. It doesn't look like isolation. It looks like normal life. You answer messages, you show up to gatherings, you smile at the right moments, but inside there's a distance, a sense that you're performing a version of yourself that's acceptable but not entirely real. Conversations stay on the surface: work, daily inconveniences, safe opinions, and when the interaction ends you feel an emotional drop, like stepping off a stage. You might even question yourself. Why do I feel lonely if people like me? What's wrong with me? But this pattern isn't random. In psychology, this experience often connects to self-concealment, the habit of hiding parts of your thoughts, feelings, or identity to maintain belonging. Belonging is one of the brain's deepest survival priorities, so sometimes your mind will choose connection even if it comes at the cost of authenticity. And that trait has consequences you don't notice immediately. This doesn't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean you're incapable of connection. In many cases, it means your mind adapted to environments where being fully yourself didn't feel safe. Maybe you learned early that certain emotions were too much, or that disagreement created tension, or that being easygoing made people stay. So your brain did what brains are designed to do. It optimized for safety. It built a version of you that could move smoothly through social situations. That's not weakness. That's adaptation. But every adaptation has a cost, and this one often costs you the feeling of being known. To understand why, it helps to imagine the brain as a prediction machine. One of its main jobs is to predict outcomes and minimize social risk. Regions like the amygdala and anterior cingulate cortex are highly sensitive to signs of rejection, and your brain treats rejection almost like physical pain. Over time, it starts to anticipate that pain even when it isn't happening. Think of your personality like a house with many rooms. Some rooms are brightly lit and easy to show. Others are locked. Your brain learns which rooms feel safe to open and which to keep closed. The more rooms you keep closed, the less people can actually see you. Here's the paradox. People may genuinely like the version of you they interact with, but that version isn't the whole you. So their acceptance doesn't fully register emotionally because deep down your nervous system knows they're accepting a filtered signal, not the full broadcast. That's how loneliness can exist in the presence of connection. The shift begins with small experiments. First, reveal 5% more than feels comfortable. Not everything, just a little more. When small acts of authenticity don't lead to rejection, the amygdala updates its predictions. Instead of saying, "I'm fine, just busy," you might say, "I've been a bit overwhelmed lately," honestly. That slight honesty adds emotional depth and teaches your brain that visibility isn't always dangerous. Second, notice where you automatically agree. Many people mirror others instantly to maintain harmony, but that reflex can erase your own perspective. Pausing and saying, "I'm not sure I see it that way," interrupts that automatic affiliation pattern and lets your real thoughts surface. Third, allow small silences in conversation instead of rushing to perform. Silence reduces pressure and gives slower, more reflective parts of the brain space to respond authentically. Often deeper connection begins in those pauses. Fourth, focus on depth with one person rather than trying to be understood by everyone. Secure attachment experiences where you are seen and accepted consistently help regulate the nervous system and lower baseline loneliness. One relationship where you feel fully known can matter more than dozens where you feel vaguely liked. If you remember one thing, let it be this: loneliness isn't always about being alone. Sometimes it's about being unseen in rooms where you are physically present. Closed rooms create invisible distance, and open rooms create connection. Not all at once, not dramatically, just gradually. Every time you allow one small piece of yourself to be visible, you reduce the gap between who you are and who the world meets. That gap is where this kind of loneliness lives. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be liked. That's human, but underneath, it is a deeper need to be known. Being known happens in fragments, in honest sentences, in unfilled pauses, in moments where you don't edit yourself quite as much. Over time, those moments change something inside you. You stop feeling like a stranger in your own life, and one day you notice you're sitting with people. They're talking, you're not performing. And for the first time in a long while, you don't feel alone. You feel quietly present, and that quiet presence is what real connection feels like.